Right then, so I just thought I'd come on live quickly. I just wanted to give a little bit of information about the event that's taking place this coming Sunday on the 25th of February. So it's being held at Southwest Koi. For the people that don't know, I've recently done a video where I visited Southwest Koi. He's very kindly, Dave, the owner, has offered to donate a £50 koi voucher, which can be spent in store or it can be also spent online. But if you haven't entered that video, flip back on my videos and see if you can find it. But really it's just a bit of an information video really to start off with, just to let people know that I'll be at the event this coming Sunday. I'll be there all day. I'm not profiting any money from the event itself. It's just a nice place for me to meet you guys and just to have a bit of a koi chat really. He's got a hell of a venue up there. It's a massive place, and on entry, or if you do decide to come to Southwest Koi on the 25th when I'm there myself, basically what it is that he's we decided, I asked him if he could do like a raffle, which is completely free of charge. So Dave's very kindly offered to supply a load of, koi food, bits and pieces for your pond equipment, and I'm not entirely sure what he might put in the raffle. He's a very generous bloke, and you never know, you might get lucky. But I've decided to put a few of me koi mugs in. I've only got a couple of them myself because the first few that I've had printed are pretty much testers. And yeah, I've got a couple of t-shirts, books and pens that I'm putting into the raffle as well, which is all completely free. It's just a bit of fun. And during the day as well, I'm hoping that he can have a few auctions as well. So there's a 50% discount off of a hell of a lot of ponds. I believe it's from ponds 1 to 9 that there's 50% off every single koi there anyway. But I'm hoping that Dave will, there might be a few fish that I'll pick out, and that he might do like a auction or something like that, just to see if it might make a bit of interest, and it's just a bit of fun really. So on the day we'll be bowling up fish, having a chat with myself, and if you want to come and meet me, I've got a bit of the old indigestion guys, but if you want to come and meet me and say hello, and if you've got any questions you want to ask, come over and say hello to me. What else have I got to say? Yeah, and if there's any questions that, like throughout my videos that you've seen that I haven't explained properly, or you want to know a bit more detail, it's the perfect day really to have a little bit of a conversation with me, because it is very hard to try to explain everything in the videos that I make, and it's harder to say it than what it is to understand it when you can talk to someone, or if they don't quite get what you mean when you say it, you can explain it better. So if there's anything that anyone wants to say, or even if it's just to come over and say hello, well, I can't wait to meet a lot of you guys. For me personally, I've not been to a massive event really where I've had the chance or opportunity to say hello to a lot of people. From me, you all know who I am as such behind the camera, but I don't know who you are, and it'd be very nice for me to meet you. I only know you by your YouTube name or your little picture on your YouTube symbol, so I'm really looking forward to meeting you, because I've got a hell of a following, and you guys have really helped me out over the years, and it'd just be nice for me to meet you, and I'm really looking forward to it. With that said, I'm going to have a look through the comments now, because I know a lot of people might click onto this video before we start with, and I just wanted to make sure that people are aware that I'll be up Southwest Koi on the 25th of February 2024, which is this coming Sunday, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to meeting everyone. So the store opens at 10 AM and it closes at 4 AM, and I'm going to be there all day. That said, that's enough of the yibbity yabbada. I'm going to crack on with this live now, because I'm just out here having a bit of a social, and thank your mother for the rabbits, and now I can catch up on some of these comments, because I appreciate you guys tuning in already. So who have we got in the house? It's the hammer. There we go. Let's go right back. Stilton Fish Keeping. Hi James, hope you're well. I'm doing well, mate. Tom, I've got evening, mate. Keep on grinding. That's the hammer. Nick, good evening, James. Nice to see you back again. Got to have a slurp. All that talk, see, you get a bit dry throat. Darren Webb, I'm popping down, James. Hope to have a chat, mate. Yeah, anyone that comes down to see me, just make sure you come over and say hello, because I'll be walking around and people will know who I am as such, but I won't know who you are. So just come over, say hello, introduce yourself, because for me, I'm not nervous about the day, but everyone knows who I am, but I don't know who you are. Do you know what I mean? So it'd be nice for me to actually catch up and say hello. Mrs. Whisperer's going to be there all day as well. She's going to be helping supply the teas, the coffees. He's also supplying cake as well. So it's going to be a really good day, like a real good chat day. And you don't even have to purchase any fish. You can just come and have a look. You can come and have a chat. And I want to make it dead clear, I'm not profiting nothing from this whatsoever, because I've had a bit of stick that I'm only doing it to get money or earn money. And to be honest with you, unless I went up there that day when I made the video, I didn't even realise that he was having a 50% sale on all of his fish. I just happened to go up there at the perfect right time, and I thought it was a good opportunity for me to share that with you guys. I'm going up there to pick out my fish that I want to bring home for myself anyway, and I just asked Dave, you know, can kill two birds with one stone, can I invite people up? And he's like, yeah, more than welcome, mate. So happy days. When my missus starts driving, I'll be going places, but for now I'm on my sofa. Yeah, that's the same as me really, because a lot of you probably don't know, but I don't actually have a driving licence myself. As you can see, I've got the old eyes on. Well, one of my eyes, I've got a wonky eye, and yeah, I'm not allowed to drive. So the vision that I have out of this eye is not very good, and the legal requirements to actually drive, to pass a driving licence or hold a licence, I can never meet those requirements with how bad my eyes are. So that's part of the reason why I don't drive myself, but it's, you know, my wife's willing to drive me up there, and she just drives me about. Don't get me wrong, on the farm I can drive a car, I can drive a tractor, but legally on the road, I can't. Do you know what I'm saying? I haven't got the ticket. But, evening Scrags, right mate? Tom, always wanted a koi pond myself. What's your opinion on the best starting pond filters, etc.? Well, my opinion on the first filters that you can get is build your own, mate, DIY, because the media itself, you can make your own media using bottle lids. You can use it by making, like, do you know the cords, what come around like boxes and stuff like that? You can bunch them up. I'm not sure what they're called, but you can bunch them up. But to be fair, you'd have to buy some sort of media, ideally like a ceramic media or a K1 media. But anything in a normal plastic box, as long as you drill like an inlet one end and an outlet the other end, as long as the filter media is, you know, moving as such for your biological stage, that there will work an absolute treat. And your mechanical stage, which takes out all of the piss and shit and muck and all the crap, all the dirtiness from the water, that there you can just use stuff like filter floss, you can use like jack matting, anything like that, and you can run that through a box to start with. So you can literally build a complete DIY filter. You just buy a cheap pump to start with, and then you just build your own filters and you'll be up and running. But the better quality filter media that you buy, because these showers that I'm using on my pond, they look fancy, but they don't do nothing. It's what's inside of them that work. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So, and you don't have to go top end. You can use something like Alpha Grog. You can get a 25 kilo bag, I believe, for 20 quid, is it? Something like that. Well, I used that myself for years and it worked a treat. The only thing that I did find that it took a little bit longer for it to, you know, become a little bit more matured, really. But yeah, you don't have to spend thousands of pounds to get into the hobby. You can literally build a pond out of sleepers, or even pallets, to be fair, like cheap pallets, or even just dig a hole in the ground. The worst thing about digging a hole in the ground is getting rid of all the earth, mine, because like anything, when you take one shovel load out, one shovel in the ground, don't know why, but it creates like, it looks like, or is like 3 shovelfuls when you bash it out, and it just, the air gets to it as such, or it expands. I don't know what it does, but there always seems to be more earth that comes out the ground than what you can imagine. So take that in mind when you think you're going to start digging a hole in the ground. And it doesn't have to be a certain depth. When there's a lot of people who tell you that a pond has to be at 4 foot deep, It doesn't. It really doesn't. The most important thing with the pond is, I don't know if people know, but surface area in a pond, really. That's the most important thing. You can get away with a 2 or 3 foot pond as long as you've got loads of surface area. But yeah, that's me blabbing on. But let's check in with some comments. Golden Reefer. Aye, aye, boy! How's it going, my hammer? But yeah, there's, you know, a lot of people are put off by the hobby, I believe, because people are telling them that you have to do it this way and you have to do it that way. And in my opinion, it's absolute bull, because everyone can enjoy this hobby. You don't have to spend thousands of pounds to enjoy it. You can build and create yourself a pond with very minimal budget and still get the same enjoyment from it. The only thing that you will have to do is, you know, just a bit more maintenance if you haven't got the filtration as good as what you would if you bought, you know, or spent thousands of pounds on it. But it's like anything you do, isn't it? Where you want to go with the hobby. Golden Reefer, so glad you're back, mate. Thank you, brother. Happy days. And to be honest with you, mate, I'm glad I'm back, because I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying making the content again. I'm enjoying editing the videos again, and I'm enjoying just being out, you know, doing what I do best, what I believe that I do best, by my mind relaxing doing this type of thing, keeping me on the straight and narrow. Where are we at then? Tom's Koi, I use pumice in my shower, fantastic media and cheap. And it is. All, to be fair, a lot of koi keepers, right, and I don't know if you guys will agree with me, but whatever you use works. Like, it doesn't matter what you keep, what you buy, what you use, it works. You get an enjoyment from it. What you find in this hobby is that you get a lot of people saying that, you always find you get a lot of people saying that you can't do it that way, or you can't do it this way. It's the same in the fishing world. I don't know if there's any carp fishermen in the house, but it's a little bit of a, to be honest with you, the Facebook groups and all the groups, I've noticed over the years how bitchy some of the comments can get if you, like, a normal koi keeper just looking for help, someone that really don't understand or they just want a bit of help, but they get absolutely bombarded with, you can't do it like this, you've got to do it like this, what are you doing, you don't have a clue what you're going on about. And I think it's shameful, really, because it puts a lot of people off the hobby, and I really don't agree with it, that, you know, everyone can make mistakes, everyone can learn by the mistakes, and I believe in this hobby, the only way that you become better in the hobby is by learning by your mistakes. But isn't that like every hobby that you do? So for all the people that give other people stick and aggro and all that lot, I really don't agree with them. It relates to a lot of the fishing. I don't know if you can see my fish here as well, looking through the window, looking mega through this window. But I relate to a lot of the carp fishing venues that I go to, and it's, if there's carp fishermen in the house, you've got to have like a bivvy, not a bivvy mat, a carp mat. So if you catch a fish, you've got to have a carp mat on it, and the net's got to be a certain size to allow for your fish. Well, if you get an angler that's just getting into the hobby, and they've spent all of their money on buying their rod license, they've bought their fishing rod, and they've only had enough money to buy a smaller carp mat. Well, some anglers will walk past and say, oh, you know, ideal mate, nice one that you're in the hobby, but what you want to do is, if you can, upgrade your carp mat, just a little bit better for the fish, really. And then you get some anglers that will go, you can't fish here, that mat ain't good enough, that mat's not big enough. And you're like, have a word with yourself, mate. He's trying to enjoy the hobby as much as what you are. He might not have as much money as what you've got, or he's just spent out everything. Let him have a break and enjoy the hobby. It's the same as this hobby. I mean, I started this hobby from when I was pretty much had nothing. I just wanted to keep fish. Do you know what I mean? I just wanted to keep fish and get into the hobby, and I believe that's, a lot of people get into it by, if they're carp fishermen, or if they keep fish tanks, or if they see someone else's pond. Not everyone's got 10 grand to go out and spend on a fish pond. Do you know what I mean? And I personally believe the only reason why I've got this pond is down to me making content, putting the videos out there, you know, sharing things, what I've done. this hobby of mine doing YouTube has helped to supply some of the equipment that I've got, because I wouldn't have been able to buy all of like the drum filter on my pond if I didn't make all of the content that I did, because my wife wouldn't have allowed it. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know, you can't be everyone's cup of tea. You never will be. But there's so many people out there that put people off this hobby, and my ambition this year really is to try to get people into the hobby. You know, if someone's got a question to ask, try to help ask or answer it, should I say. But look at the size of this one coming down through here. Beast. Absolute beast. But that's another thing as well, buying fish from the hobby. Start small, then go bigger afterwards if you really get into it. And that is the exact way to do it, because this hobby is not for everybody. If you get it all right, and a lot of you know, those fish, we don't keep the fish, we enjoy the fish, we keep the water. The water is what we look after. If you look after the water, and it doesn't matter if the pond's like mine, or it doesn't matter if you've got one in the ground and it's a natural pond as such. The water, you've got to look after the water. If your water's good, the fish look after themselves, and you have to do nothing apart from feed them. But there's so many people that get it wrong. I mean, I can remember when I first got in the hobby myself, and I've made videos about it and told people about it. So the first filter that I ever bought, so when I first sort of decided to buy or build a pond, I went into the local garden centre. I don't know if anyone's the same, but Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, the information when I got into the hobby wasn't available. So I went into the garden centre, I saw all of these fish swimming around, and I'm like, I want one of them, I want to do this. So what I decided to do was buy a pond liner, get home, start digging. Within the first day I bought this pond liner, and I was like, whacked it in the ground, filled it up, and it was very small. Put a couple of shabunkins in there and a couple of goldfish, because the fish was expensive. I just spent all of my money on the pond liner, and within a couple of weeks I was like, this ain't big enough. I need to start over again. So I pretty much dug a load more earth out, ordered up some blocks, laid their blocks on the side, thinking that there will do the trick. I'll just lay them on the side all the way up, not on their bellies. And people sort of told me, oh James, that ain't strong enough, it's going to blow out. Well, did anyone see when I tried knocking down the old pond? It had no chance of blowing out, mate. I had to get the hammer jacker on it, proper full on, do you know what I mean? I couldn't take none of the boats out. I put timber frame all the way around it. It was an absolute hammer to get rid of. But what I'm relating to is that I walked into this garden centre and I just got hooked on the hobby straight away, almost immediately. And then from then just upgraded, and even when my pond was built on the side, I don't know if you guys remember, but I had a crazy idea where I wanted to raise it up a little bit. So I put another course of blocks round, and I thought I'll stretch the liner out and I can get another course. Well, I'm already balls deep in it. Put the course of blocks round, thinking I can use the same liner, well, I'm about 4 or 5 inches short all the way around the pond. So I went out and bought another liner, tried doing it again, and then that's pretty much when I started making my YouTube videos, really. And I'm going back 5 years ago now. But the more that I've got into the hobby, the more I've sort of progressed, the more I've learned. But I can remember the first filter that I ever had, a pressure filter in the ground, and I got told that it was more than capable enough to maintain the size pond that I built, which was only about 1,000 gallon, 1,500 gallon, and it was nowhere near enough, not even half quarter of enough. So I constantly had problems. My fish constantly had problems, and I couldn't work it out. I didn't know why. I went into the shop the next week saying my fish are jumping, my fish jumped out. What's going on? Well, they would sell me a bottle with this stuff, and I thought straight away, boss, straight into my pond. Not knowing or not understanding, and I've learned so many mistakes what I've done. And one of the biggest mistakes that I learned, and I'm going back 10 years or so now, was cleaning out the filters. So I used to think in my head that After the end of the month or everything, the pond was just balancing out right, everything was coming right, and I thought, right, it's time for me to change the filter now. Well, how did I change it? I used to unscrew the pressure washer, take it out, and then what I did, get the pressure washer out, and I cleaned the thing so it's like brand new again. Put it back together. Well, within the first night, because I cleaned off all the beneficial bacteria that I built up over that month, within the first night I had nothing but major problems. Fish were jumping, flashing, not realising, didn't even own a water kit back then, do you know what I mean? I didn't even sample me water. I would just go to my local garden centre and I'd say, mate, I've got a problem again, I don't know what's up with me fish. And he'd say, I'll bring up a water sample, and he'd say, yeah, you've got high ammonia, you need to put this in your pond. So I spend another 20 quid. And my whole reason about making this channel, building this channel, is because all of the mistakes that I've done myself, just reading my wife then, yeah, all of my mistakes that I've done myself, I've just wanted to share with you guys. Like, I wanted to share and let you know what I've learned along the way, because I am not an expert. I have made that well clear along the way, right? But I'm a hobbyist that have learnt from my mistakes, and I've learnt what works and what works good. Everyone's seen my fish week in, week out, day in, day out, and this is not me being big-headed or anything like that, but the condition that I keep my fish in, the growth that I can put on my fish, I must be doing something right. There don't go periods of time where, and I'm not going to put it out there that, you know, I've never get problems, because I do. I generally only get problems when I introduce new fish to the pond. It's part of the reason why I don't like buying new fish, because generally, no matter wherever you get a fish from, and that fish might come absolutely spotless clean, right? But you introduce a new fish to your pond, I guarantee you, in my pond right now, I have got fluke, I have got costia, I have got trichodina, I have got everything in this pond. And it will always be in the pond. You'll never ever kill everything in the pond. And I just believe that is dead true. Like, there's certain things in the water, your fish become used to it. Your fish not used to the parasite, but the parasite, what I'm trying to get at, it becomes a problem when you start changing things, when you start cleaning things, when you start upsetting situations, when you start adding too much shit to your water. I believe that's one of the biggest reasons what causes problems in a pond. Whether all that's right or wrong, I don't know. But I find that's always the way. Like, if I was, for instance, if I was to start cleaning my backy shower now, giving it the bottom of it, cleaning it, going in my drum, cleaning the drum out, and scraping it all around, I guarantee you that these fish, within an hour, they'll start flicking, or something will happen. At the moment, they're not doing nothing. I always believe there's some sort of parasite somewhere in your pond, and it's always held at bay, somewhere along the lines, if you know what I mean. But where it kicks off, if you introduce a new fish, sometimes that fish can come with parasites, and then your fish get unhappy. But generally, it's when your water quality goes downhill, then the parasite will attack the fish when the fish becomes at its weakest state, and then that's what causes your problems. And it results down to, if your water quality is good, you don't get no issues or problems. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't know, but it works for me. But whenever you buy new fish, I don't know if you guys are the same, but it's generally what happens. That was a fair old spill then, wasn't it? I kept going on. Who have we got on then? Mark, evening mate, hope you're doing well. Simon Shears, Cinema, look out, smiley faces. Been there, got the t-shirt, video, Tom's Green Garden. I did the exact same thing, James. See you Sunday, happy days. I mean, don't get me wrong, with the hobby itself, I've learnt a hell of a lot about water. My sort of, I suppose, in a way, because I've got an addictive personality, I am an addict. I'm never happy until I can work out the reasons why. Like, I'm always trying to work out if I can change something for the better, or the reasons why this is happening. And where most people can go to sleep at night, and if they've got a problem and they can go to bed and not worry about it, they might check their pond next week. I can't do that. Like, I cannot sleep until I know that it's right, or whatever I'm trying to find out's right. What I struggle with is, because I'm dyslexic, I struggle with and I'm not trying to get this sub story of it. I struggle trying to explain that to other people, or trying to explain what I've learned to other people. I try my best, and I think I do a half okay job with it, but I do find it quite difficult to explain some of the stuff as I'm saying it, what I'm saying, and is my reasons right or wrong. Because I never believe in like one person's way of doing something is the only way that you can do it. Because that one person's way might work for them, but it might not work for you. So I think the saying goes, never keep all your eggs in one basket, because you might be doing something right for years. Like you never get a problem, never get an issue, everything's all right, everything's working, and then boom, it can bite you in the ass and wipe out your whole pond. Or anything can come at any time and happen. And I suppose the most interesting thing with a hobby, what I find myself, is that you never ever know everything. Like as a hobbyist, like as a professional, I suppose, or as like, I mean, what do you class as a professional, to be fair? Like, if you sell fish, are you a professional? Or, you know, if you're a koi breeder, are you a professional? Where's the level between the difference between a hobbyist and an expert? Because I don't really know that. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of people that know their shit. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people that know their stuff, but everyone knows different things in different areas. I believe myself, and everyone gets like, if someone's concentrating on just solely water, and they like soft water, and they go completely into the whole reasons why soft water is better for fish, then they end up chasing that, and they can't stop thinking about it and chasing that line. But then do they do that because someone's told them that soft water is better for fish, or do they do it because they're actually really interested of the welfare of the fish? Do you know what I'm saying? I'm a professional thick fucker. That's me, mate, that is. Be ready for everything and prepared for everything. That's a good comment, that is. I believe that myself, because you never know when it's going to come. But this is the best evenings for me. Like, I don't know how well you can see these fish, but they're looking mint. And they put some massive size on as well. I don't know if you can see the size of that chag right there, but when I bowled her up, she is looking the absolute hammer. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see, you know, to have a chat with you guys. And to be fair, I'm no different to anybody else. On the day, my biggest thing, I suppose, really, is you all know who I am, and I would like to meet you guys, because we can just have a koi chat, a koi talk. And I'm quite interested, you know, I'm learning always myself as well. Like, I'm always learning different things myself. So if I've been doing something which someone else thinks, oh, James, why don't you try it this way? I'm all ears, do you know what I mean? The only way that you learn and then upgrade or improve your koi knowledge is by learning from someone that already knows. And there's another YouTuber out here, Koi Pond Lifestyle, I believe he's called, and he says every day is a school day. And it is. And if you're not a person that can say that it is, then, you know, I'll leave it there. But I believe myself personally that nobody knows everything. You can always learn something from somebody else, and you can always take a bit of that, a bit of this, a bit of that, and try a bit of this. Do you know what I mean? And see what works for you. And that's what I'm always about in the hobby. And there's people out there with far more experience than what I've got, but I just enjoy the hobby. And I enjoy sharing it with you guys. Would like to come down myself, but a bit of a mission up in Barnsley. Just stay over somewhere, mate, innit? Do you know what I mean? Drive down on the Saturday night, stay over somewhere in one of them Premier Inns, 29 quid a ticket, and meet me the next day. Who's that? Peter McKenzie. Koi oi! Got 71 people in the house tonight. That's a fair old sesh going on there. What's up, divorced fish folk? But yeah, I've had a banging week's holiday anyway. First day back to the grindstone for me today. It was definitely interesting. Thinking to myself, I absolutely loved being off on holiday last week, making content again, filming the fishing. I don't know if you guys have seen my fishing videos. I caught some banging quality fish, and it was a decent place for me to relax, chillax. I have noticed on my channel, whenever I put fishing videos out, they don't do nowhere near as well as the koi videos that I put out, which is completely understandable. You know, I've called it the Koi Whisperer. It is a koi channel, and it is 90% koi content that I put out. But on the statement on the channel, I always put that I'm everything to do with fish. Koi is my biggest thing that I do on the channel, but fishing related, all of those types of things, I enjoy making that content. And I had a couple of block comments that I read today, because I get thousands of comments a week, and a couple of the block comments today was, James, can you stop putting out fishing content? This channel should only be about koi. And I'm thinking, who the hell are you to tell me what I can and can't do on my channel? Do you know what I mean? It's like I like a bit of everything, really. The carp fishing with Rambo has been brilliant. Cheers, mate, I appreciate that. Could one of those big lake wild carp live in your pond successfully? Yeah, they could quite easily. I wouldn't never like to say go out and purchase a £28 carp or £30 carp and put it to the pond. Not saying that you can't do that, but the environment, depending where it's lived in, the environment could be a massive change for it. If you was to purchase it in a smaller pond, or buy a smaller carp and bring it on. But when you think about it, when you think of that scenario, when you look at Japanese koi and all of that lot, when they're in the mud ponds, it's no different than in a carp lake. They live in that lake all of the summer or season to fatten them up, to get them nice where they want to be. Then they're put in a bag, transferred into clean, fresh, healthy water, which are in the in the tanks, well, not the tanks, the huts, is it huts or whatever they're called, and then they're shipped from Japan all the way over here in a box, a small little box, and I'm talking the biggest scale, some of these massive koi, metre in length, and then they're sent for a quarantine area in the UK somewhere for a certain period of time. Then we as customers go up and buy them, and then we bring them back to our ponds, and they live absolutely fine. Where they don't live fine is if your water quality is no good, and there's no keeping them then at all. But I've always wanted a big fat mirror in the pond myself. That's because I'm a fisherman. Where people get the enjoyment of seeing a nice fish, shower, sankey, whatever it may be, the colours, the patterns, well, for me, I get that feeling by looking at a carp. Do you know what I mean? A nice mirror scale, big plates on it, nice and decent pet fins, decent dorsal fin on her, and a two-tone sort of colour breakation on it. I get the same sort of satisfaction from that. And don't get me wrong, those big carp cost some money. Like, I think the last price I looked at was a £30 carp was £50 a pound, which, that's a fair chunk, really. Nice one, James. I've just got back into carp fishing and keep koi, so both interests, I believe, go hand in hand. That's what I believe, mate, exactly the same. Really miss my carp fishing. It's the reason I'm rebuilding permanent koi pond. That's exactly it. I don't know if people saw my video that I put out tonight. Who's that there? It's got to have a dark chestnut tone. Yeah, that's the hammer, mate, that is. But yeah, I don't know if the people saw my video tonight, that I was fishing on the bank, and I just sort of related why I got into the koi hobby, explained the reasons where it all started from, the reasons why I do this now, because I love my angling so much. I love being on the bank, and to be fair with you guys, it's because I love being outside. I can't do with watching normal TV, you know what I mean? I've said this several times before. Watching shit on TV drives me nuts. Like, when you see these, like my missus, like, she watches this EastEnders, she watches, what's it called, Love Island or Love Me Island or something like that, where they text on each other's phone and all that bullshit, and I think, why would you sit there and watch this shit? But she does, and she enjoys it. That's down to her. But it doesn't tick no boxes for me. What ticks the boxes is me being out in the garden, like this, just seeing this big fat chunk just swimming right across my fingers now. The scalation, looking at the pattern of the fish, how they move, that there's like automatic, boing! Do you know what I'm saying? I just love it. But when I go to the koi dealers and I just look at all of these fish, there's something about it, and there's, even with koi keepers, there's a select few koi keepers that get that excitement by looking at the fish, by getting it out, picking the fish that you want, IDing the fish that you want, even if it's down to, you have, say you go for a chagoy and there's 10 chags in the pond. Well, you start bowling them up, and then you start picking it out. Oh, I like that one because it's got a nice pattern on it, or I like that because it's dead symmetrical down its back, or it's got a nice backbone on it, or it's got nice big fat flappers on the front, do you know what I mean? Or the dorsal fin on it, absolutely incredible. All of those little things, and you start selecting it all down, and you think, oh, that's why I'm into the fish, because it's all about the fish for me. And it's the same as going carp fishing. We go carp fishing, we catch and release. The reason why we go is to catch a nice looking fish, to take a picture of that fish. You know what I mean? We're holding that fish, taking a picture of ourselves, but we're taking a picture of the fish. That's what we do it for the love for that. And there's a select few people. Some people are quite happy in the hobby that they just like going out and say, oh, I have 10 of them, chuck them in your pond, small fish, they watch them grow, and they don't get them out. I don't think they reward the quality of that fish as much as some fish appreciation should be done. But it all depends where you're at in the hobby, doesn't it? Or what you enjoy from the hobby. But me going to any koi place or any koi dealer or any koi event, I'm like a kid in a sweet shop. Catch, repair, treat, photo, then release. Exactly that, mate. Exactly that. I've been yabbing so long, I've let me cup of tea go cold, didn't I? Who have we got in the house then? Let's have some thumbs up. Let me know who's in the house, guys. Memories and any buzz of getting them on the bank. Scrag's in the house. I'm gonna make Scraggs and be moderator again because he's a good mod. Add as moderator, standard moderator. Bosh. Jason's in the house. Simon's in the house. Keep up the good work. But yeah, let me know as well. Just so I know, write in the comments as well for me if you can. Who's going to be coming on Sunday? I'll be very interested to know who's actually coming. Jolly's in the house, look. Daniel Jolly's in the house. Tom's Koi and Gardens in the house. Matthew, Michael, Craig. Come on, my son. Great to see you looking well and getting back into your hobbies. It feels amazing. Big Al's in the house. Get on, Big Al. Hope you're coming up on Sunday, mate. It'd be nice to meet you. Make sure you come over to me and say, I'm Big Al. Hope Mrs. Whisper's watching me live. If she is, sweetheart, couldn't make us another cup of tea, could you? I'll be there coming down with Telford Koi Pond and aid the koi keeper. Yeah, it'd be nice. To be honest with you, I know you, Scraggs, and I know Telford Koi Pond. I've seen Aid a little bit, but I don't know him as much, so he'll have to introduce me to Aid. Roman's in the house. Chris H is in the house. Tom's Going Garden. Have you thought of putting in a protein skimmer? To be fair, I think because I do a constant water change, my water's constantly trickling in. I've never really get any protein build up on the pond because I've always trickling it straight out the overflow. Do you know what I mean? So I never get it. As you can see on my pond, there is never one bubble on my pond. And that's because I've constantly got that trip going into the pond 24/7, never ever stops. Any protein build up is on the surface of your pond, on your water. That's where it stays. That's where all the bubbles are. That's where all the shit is. Well, if that skims off the top and goes straight down your waist, then every single video that I've done, it works. Sam Coffee looks chilly, mate. No, it's all right, mate, out here tonight. To be fair, this is my nice place. What do you mean chilly? Working a fridge all day. You knows what it's like. You used to work with me. This is warm, mate. This is like the summer holidays for me, son. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, look. Look, check this out, look. This is what I'm saying. That's the hammer then! My neighbours must think I'm nuts. They don't have to think it, I am. Couldn't give a monkeys, never have, never will. Like me or you don't. Either way, innit? Some people like me, some people don't. That's how my pond runs, trickle in, trickle out. They know you're nuts. I knows I am, mate. I loves it though. It's all about the banter, innit? You might have to bear with me though. I'm gonna have to get me power pack, me charger. Can I just give me 10 seconds? I've got to get me charger. Cause my phone's gonna die. I'll put you in front of the fish for 2 minutes. I'll talk about that water bill in a minute, Scrag. Give me 2 seconds. He's back. Let's get he plugged in a minute. Give me another 2 seconds and I'll talk about that water bill. Tell you what, when you're on the old live, it drains the hell out of your battery. Lucky I got power pack supply here, innit? Gotta have all the gear, see? Oh, bollocks. No, he's alright. I got the USB-C bit on there. Hopefully it's charging now. Yeah, she's alright. Right, so where were we at? How's the... Right, so I'm going to start with Scrags. What's the water bill like on the pond? So, I don't know if you... Some of you guys might know, some of you might not. But when I built the pond, I put that soakaway in, which I dug a hell of a big hole. The reasons why I've done that is because I researched about the water, because I'm on a water meter, and this is something I can explain in a lot more detail if you want to know anything more about it when you see me in person. So basically, my water company where I live is called Southwest Water, and it might be the same where you're to, but if you're flushing water down your soakaway, not down a sewage line, not down any of their sewage lines, they can't charge you a sewage charge on it. So that means that you get a discount on the water that what you're feeding. For instance, the line that's coming in is feeding the pond, but I'm not, the dirty water from the pond, I'm not pushing it back down their lines, I'm putting it in my back garden. So what happens is I had to pay for a separate water meter. It cost me 150 quid. So the water company come out, after I paid for it, they come out, they put this water meter in, which supplies this line, which feeds my pond, and it only feeds this pond. I could tap off of it as well if I wanted to. Now it's like 2 or 3 years in and supply my whole house off of it, but I don't. So it's basically, it supplies this one pond. So the only water that I'm paying for is the water that comes into the pond. So I'm not paying no waste charge on it, no cleaning, no nothing like that. So you get a discounted rate on it, and I actually get a 75% discount on the water that fills it up. So it's more than affordable to keep that trickle going in 24/7 because of the discount. And one thing else I learnt by doing it as well, with the rainwater that hits your roof, my water company, and I don't know if yours is the same, but my water company, actually there's a charge on your water bill for the rainwater that hits your roof of your house, whether that be a conservatory, the roof of your house, whatever it is. You pay for that water to go down the drain, into their pipes, into their line, right? Well, if you have, like me, 50% of my house, on this side of the house, in the back garden, it doesn't go down their drain lines, it goes into my soakaway, that I can claim a discount on that as well. But where they have you, is that it's got to be 100% of your house that goes into a soakaway. So if you've got a massive garden and you've got the same sort of deal as me, get out there with a digger, dig a massive hole, and put all of that rainwater you got, every bit of wastewater that you don't need, even, well, to be fair, you don't want to be putting your shit down the drain, do you, out the toilet, but everything else, whack it down the soakaway. Oh, cheers, boy. Come and say hello. Everyone knows who you are, look.
Hello.
He's just come out to say hello. You might have to get around that side.
Right. Cold out.
You cold, is he?
Yeah. Take my jumper.
Just come and say hello. So tight lines then.
Tight lines.
He loves his fishing, he does. Absolutely loves it.
I made you Twix. I didn't know what flavour you like.
Handsome, mate, that is. Absolutely handsome. Cheers, me handsome.
Yeah.
Look at them though, they look banging tonight, don't they?
Yeah. They do look very beautiful, I will say. My favourite one, it's not currently in camera shot, but is...
To be fair as well, some of you guys, I'll, top rods in the house. Where are we at then? Where did I not get to? Life around the koi pond. How's the plans for the grow on pond coming? Basically, mate, cheers, Jake. Basically, mate, at the moment, the plans are still in the pipeline. I know what I want to do, but I know what it's going to cost. So I've put the message out to a few of my friends. I've got a few friends in the building trade. I'm trying to get as cheap as possible, bits of material what's left over, anything that they can possibly get for me in the meantime, because at the moment I'm still busy at the moment. I'm still doing bits and pieces. I'm still keeping myself busy until I get completely bored, or not bored, but until I've ran out of ideas where I'm not going fishing and all those different things, where as soon as it's time for me where I know I've got all of the bits and pieces that I need, then I'm starting, because I want to make sure that I've got everything that I need really, and then I can start, do you know what I mean? I can start doing it. But I've got it all drawn out on pen and paper. I've got measurements. I've with the videos, obviously, I'm ahead of the videos that you guys see what go out live. With some of them, some of the videos are already pre-made. Some of the content that I put out doesn't happen the same day or week that you see it. It might have happened before, because a lot of people give me stick saying I'm putting out too much content. And I'm like, well, some of it's been videoed, you know, I've already filmed it as such. I've just edited it into a film. But yeah, it's definitely happening. You wouldn't believe the amount of offers that I've had by certain companies though, asking me to promote their product or their, create a deal with me to get this and all the rest of it. And I'm like, I'm not interested. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather do it myself. Like, why would I get something which is crap to show you guys and tell you that it's good when I don't think that it really is? I really don't think that's fair and the right thing to do. Do you know what I mean? But I've had the companies offer me. If I share with you guys something, then I do it for a reason, because I believe in it, or I think that it is worth investing in. Like that, anyone see that window magnet I used the other day, or tank scrubber? Yeah, it gets it off. It got the glass off. You have a look. It has got it off. It's clean, right? But was it any easier? No. Do I recommend it? No. Did I get a freezing cold arm? Yeah. Is the brush just as easy? Yeah. Am I going to keep searching for a new idea, something what might be better than the brush? Yeah, because I'm the koi whisperer. And if I can find something better or use something better, then that's what I'm going to do. Do you know what I mean? Just closed my koi pond, had to sell mine. Had to sell me 1 metre chag. I know there's so many people out there at the moment. So on my Instagram account that I have, basically I have, my wife's running that for me, and I have so many people saying, James, closing down my pond, can't afford to run the pond, you want my fish? And I'm like, as much as that I would love to help you out, transporting fish from someone's pond to my pond is something that is not recommended to be done. It's not something that I would do myself to show or tell you guys to do as well. Yeah, it's just a shame because it ain't cheap to run the ponds. You know, the cost of electricity these days, price of everything in life. Some people just, you can't blame them. And the interest of the hobby during the winter months, where it's cold and wet and dark and you're not seeing your fish and you're not enjoying it as much, it does reflect on this koi hobby, I believe. It's seasonal, 100% that it's seasonal. You know, most people still got covers on their ponds, haven't they, at the moment, which is, I completely agree with. If you're heating a pond and you want to keep it heated, for whatever reason why that might be, if you're growing them on or if you're keeping it heated to make the fish a little bit more comfortable, then, you know, that's down to your own opinion and each individual can do however they wish. But covering a koi pond without any heating to it, really, I mean, there might be a slight benefit in it, but when it gets cold outside, the temperatures get cold, it gets cold anyway, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? You can't stop it getting any colder than what it's getting unless you're heating. But it is down to individual. I can really see the benefits from the cover in the pond if you are trying to heat the pond. But then the benefits for trying to heat the pond, I still believe myself personally that it's good to let the koi go through a season so they get used to the colder temperatures. They have a season like they should naturally. And then when the water temperatures warm up, I would say the advantage of a heater, in my opinion, this is only my opinion, is that in certain times of the year, where you want to get that temperature and keep it stable, so if our air temperature is 30 degrees, and your pond temperature jumps up to 22 or 26 degrees, say, that what you can do with an air source heat pump or something, you can regulate it to keep it the same temperature all of the time, so it doesn't have a massive drop in the night time when it gets colder, for instance, and you're fluctuating between big differences of temperature. And then the advantage of it is that you can put more food into the fish at a quicker rate. But then I believe myself personally, because I'm a fisherman, because I come from the fishing background, what I've learned over the carp fishing years. Scott's in the house. Look, I haven't seen you for a while, mate. If you need any plastering, let me know. And I'm only down the road, mate. Scott, happy days. Yes, I do, to be fair. I'll get in contact with you because my wife needs a bit of plastering done. She wants me to do out the bathroom and I'm fucking useless at plastering. But, yeah, what was I getting at? Completely forgot. Help us out, guys. What was I talking about? Scrag with a spanner. You love a spanner, don't you, Scrag? Dino, do you want one as well? Do you want a spanner? Do you feel left out? I'll give you a spanner if you want one. I don't know who you are, look, but you're having a spanner. There you are, mate. Add as moderator. Bosh. There you are, mate. You can have a little spanner as well for a bit, Dino. I don't know who you are, but now you're a spanner as well. Have one of they, boy. everyone's banned. What have I done? Did I just ban everyone? I didn't mean... To be honest, I made a mistake the other night and I don't know how to do it. I've got to correct it as well, because if I blocked anyone, I completely forgot. Jigs, got out, laugh out loud. Get ready. Heat in the pond. Ready. What's going on? What have I done? I don't know what I've done. But yeah, what I done the other night, I accidentally blocked someone. Everyone will be on a timeout, laugh out loud. Dino will put everyone in a timeout, laugh out loud. Oh, hello, did you hear that? That was the guts rumbling. That was the wife's rib she cooked me tonight. God. Glad I'm outside. That one there is a beauty. Oh. Who is Dino anyway? I don't even know who he is. You've just been removed as moderator, see? How do you treat sleepy koi disease? How do you know it is? How do you know it's sleepy koi disease? Because if it just sat on the bottom of the pond, right, that does not mean that it's sleepy koi disease. There's so many different reasons why that fish could be sat clamped up on the bottom of the pond. This is why some reasons like that, or some questions like that, is why it's really hard to try to give someone information, because the first thing that you got to do with any fish, if it's sat on the bottom of the pond, is that you got to check your water. Go through all of your water tests and do it 2 or 3 times to make sure your tests come back the same results for 3 times on a trot. And then what I would do is get the scrape out. So I would, if you haven't got a magnifying glass, then I would just literally whack it on a card, chuck it in some water, take it up to your nearest pet supply, or your koi dealer. Most of them will kindly do it for you, and they'll be able to identify the parasite or the reason why that fish is on the bottom. If you still can't work it out from then you do the next step. She's watching Love Island. No one has said hi to Mrs. Whisperer. Yeah, I don't even know what she's watching, mate, to be fair. It could be Love Island. It's one of those things. You know what I mean? 90 people in the house though, innit? What you saying, guys? What you saying? But yeah, relating to trying to help someone with a problem is easier if you can find out a little bit more about when the problem started, to when you noticed it first, to what have you noticed over the time. Not just jumping to conclusions or recommendation or recommending something on first instincts of what it is without taking the protocols of all of the other things, I believe is a real strong statement. Going to jump off myself now. Cheers for the advice on a beginner pond and being well. Get my patch in of the garden. Too right, mate. Get in there, son. That's what you want. Get in amongst it. Keep the videos coming too. Appreciate that, mate. I appreciate all of you guys' supports as well, because without you guys I ain't nothing, you know what I mean? I'm something. I ain't right in the head, but that's me. Dino, no offense, but it was only going one way. Got to admit, I'm an EastEnders fan. If you like it, you like it, don't you? Do you know what I mean? It's like I said, it ain't everyone's cup of tea. I ain't everyone's cup of tea. But if it's what you're into, it's what you're into. But well, looking forward to this Sunday. And to be fair with you guys, I just want to put it out there as well. I've caught up with some of the content that I've put out so far. I'm having a little bit of a break this week. There might only be one more video this week before Sunday. I've got a few things on this week, so I've got my therapy tomorrow evening. I've got catch up with my group therapy on Thursday evening. I've got my AA meeting on tomorrow straight after work. I'm quite busy the rest of the week, and obviously being back at work now, that eats up a hell of a portion of the day. So I might jump on during the week to come on live, but it'll probably be I'll do some footage while I'm up Southwest Koi as well. So buzzing for Sunday, definitely a few koi coming home with me. Happy days, mate. But anyone's got any like pictures of their pond or little videos of their pond, when you're up there, when you see me, if you want to like send it to me, you know, if you just do a video of your pond, if you want to send it to me, I'm more than happy about posting it on the channel if you would allow me to do that. When we're up there, you know what I mean? You can send it through airdrop or whatever it may be. Dino Scrag, don't worry, mate. It's sound. Got to dip out, guys. Got to pick lad up from the airport. Keep them coming, James. That's the hammer. Cheers, Scrag. See you later, mate. But yeah, any other questions we got coming in? Dino, you crack me up, top lad. Scott, I will send you some of my pond, mate. I might pop up when is everyone meeting? So I'm there from 10 o'clock till 10 o'clock till 4 o'clock, mate, pretty much. I'm going to get there a little bit earlier just to go and see Dave and that, just to make sure everything's singing and dancing as such. Get a coffee in before everyone gets there. But yeah, Scott, if you're only just down the road from me, mate, or whatever, chuck me on Instagram. I'll come down and see you, mate, if you want. I would be interested to see your pond. And anyone else local in Devon, I don't know if anyone else here what follows me is local in Devon. I'd be very interested to come down and see other people's ponds, see what they built. And it doesn't have to be all singing, all dancing. I just like seeing people's fish, people's pond. You know what I mean? And if you'd let me film it or let me show it on the channel, it makes good content for other people to see as well. Because I know there's a lot of people out there that makes koi content, but the way YouTube works, it doesn't get shared as much. It depends how long people watch your videos for. And if people are not as like new into the hobby and they're not quite sure how to edit videos as well, and the video doesn't do as well, they get put off by making content because like they make a video, they put a lot of effort into it and they only get 200-300 views, and then they're like, oh, that was a waste of time. Well, that's part of doing the YouTube journey, and it's part of building up a channel. It doesn't happen overnight, not for everyone. And it still hasn't happened for me, to be fair, really. I mean, it took me a long time to get to where I am. But that's another thing I was going to mention as well. Anyone that is on YouTube and wants to ask me any questions about the YouTube channel itself, of how to, or not how to because I'm not a professional, but any tips that I've learned about how to make the content get more views, or try to gain a few more subscribers, or try to make your videos a little bit more interesting, or whatever you might want to ask about how I do things, I'm more than willing to share how I do it and what I do, and certain little things that help, certain things that help certain videos. I'm more than happy to help out if anyone's got anything to ask while I'm there on Sunday, because it ain't easy to start off with, and always learning things along the way. But that's only if you're you're thinking about a YouTube channel. Knock to all. James, hope you're doing all right, sir. Thank you very much. Don't often get called sir, but I very much appreciate that. But to be honest with you, this is what I do most evenings. get home from work, go and say hello to the wife and the kids, have me tea, and I like spending an hour or so just out with me fish, sat on my fishing chair. I don't know if you can see that, but come on people, 82 watching, only 42 thumbs. Cheers Tom, I reckon I should make you I reckon Tom's he's being a moderator now, he's getting a spanner. Bosh. They are Tom mate, you are now moderating my channel for me. But yeah, we got any other questions in the house? Wills, they're real bonsais or fake, lad? Definitely fake, mate. 100% fake. Been called worse. I won't actually, you know, I won't calling you a spanner. I mean, you got a spanner. You know what I meant. Yeah, I love real bonsais, but I think that's its own hobby in itself, I believe. Like, to do that properly, I mean, I struggles to keep bloody weeds alive, let alone proper bonsais, you know what I mean? Cool, I tell you what, they baked beans I had earlier on ain't doing me no good. I bet Mrs. Whisper's glad I am sat out here. Jesus Christ. But yeah, anyone as well, it can't happen all at once, but anyone that ever wants to visit me or wants to come down and check out my pond and just have a evening or whatever, just an hour chat, if you're local to the area, to Devon or wherever you are, hook me up on Instagram. I'm more than willing to, as long as I know who you are down to a point, then I'm more than willing to have someone over for a cup of tea or, you know, cup of tea, cake, maybe a steak sandwich or something. Chill out in the garden, watch the fish, talk koi for a couple of hours. If anyone's ever interested in doing something like that. But yeah, the whole purpose of the video really was just to let people know that I'm up Southwest Koi. Got to take up a lot of time looking after. Bit of a twig, 850, not even real oak tree. What's he mean by that? Bit of a twig, not even real oak tree. Yes to the steak sandwich. I know old Big, see old Sam Coffee in there, right? I used to work with him and he can eat some food, I'll tell you that much. Can't he, Big? I calls him Big because he's 6'5", weighing 395 pounds. The undefeated champion of the world. He's probably pissing his pants now. Scott Saunders, happy days. Phil, I've not missed you today, laugh out loud. Hope you're well, mate. Bonsai James, 850 for a bit of a twig. 850 for a bit of a twig. Yeah, I get what you mean now. Dino, Simon, you need to see my lemon arawaki. Best in the country, mate. Send me a picture and I'll show everyone on the YouTube channel. Dino, we'll show everyone. Send me a video and we'll see what people say. I'll write it the best in the country and see how people rate it. We'll see if I get slagged right off saying, no it ain't. You too, James. It's by far the best. So Dino, are you on YouTube yourself? Because I don't think I've seen you on YouTube. Probably is Dino, but you've seen that lemon that was seen on YouTube getting flown over. I'll send it to you, James. Cheers, mate. He's not, lad. Will's Koi. No, mate, I'm not. Too many pricks. There definitely is, mate. Oh look, creative combos in the house. Look, high five, James. How did the fishing go the weekend? Go nice to catch up. Yeah, it went banging, mate. To be fair, I had another free out in the end. Sunday night, decent fish as well. It was a good, eventful night. Who else has just got in the house then? So I used to only do these lives when there was memberships only, but then I just thought myself, like, that was when I was building the pond. So I just started coming on lives and just doing normal as well now, like doing a bit of mixture of both. But anyone would like to join the membership and be one of the Koi Whisperers, really does help support the channel. I'm not asking people to go and join it, but if anyone would like to, because there's some people that don't know that you can become a member to the channel, it really does help support the channel. But I'm not asking people to do that. It's down to their own free will. It's in place if people choose to do it. It all helps out. But it's like, I don't know if you guys, any of you guys watch TikTok or anything like that, where you see these people on TikTok and you get sent, just by going lives and that, you get sent these coins and stuff, and people send them coins and they're like just lifting up weights or dancing around in the TV, or they get sent these unicorns or whatever it is that they get sent all of these items. That's all to do with content. Is it content creators or something like that? And YouTube do exactly the same thing when you come live like now for subscribers and people that follow the channel. And don't get me wrong, I'm not asking anyone to send me anything as well, far from that. But that's why this is a platform base for that. And people down in, like, where you see your little, is it a $sign or something like that? That's why in every video and every comment and every little bit on YouTube, it's created as a platform throughout YouTube for that to be done, because it does help support. Well, see, I manage OnlyFans account for a living. That's the hammer that is. That's funny, that is. But yeah, what I was relating to, it does help support people like myself, because some of the equipment that you got to buy to, you know, just to make videos, like the software equipment that I use to edit my videos, cost me 300 quid a year just to edit videos. Do you know what I mean? I do that out of my own will, out of my own choice, but just the software every single year costs me 300 quid a year. But then that's down to how you want to do your videos as such, how you want to edit them. But I like cutting out all of the butts, the ands, the in-between bits, and like when you're walking from my house to my shed, people are not interested for as long is if you're walking each footstep. They just want to go from there to your shed. So you've got to cut all those bits out in between, and it, you know, it ain't cheap to do it all, but I do that myself because it's something that I want to do. Have you got an email address, James? Yeah, so if you type James the Koi Whisperer, no, sorry, that's not right. My email address is James. Do I want to put it on here with 62 people watching? People will start sending me pictures of dick pics and stuff, won't them? Best way to do it, mate, are you on Instagram? If you're on Instagram, type in James the Koi Whisperer and send it on Instagram. How do I send proof? Best job for a 20-year-old. I don't want to see any proof, mate. I really don't want to see any proof. If you do OnlyFans, mate, and that's what you like doing, crack on, son. No, not gonna lie. Fair play, dear. I prefer just watching me koi at the moment. What did old Big say? Sam Coffee. Where do I get the merch from? So, Cop, I'll have to tell you in real place, Sam Coffee, but the merchandise that I've got at the moment, it's all sort of prototypes. It was all sort of developments to see how it is, what it's like, what it turns up like before I started to print numbers of stuff, and then to make sure that the prints are how I want them, the quality's how I want them, and then I'm going to might go down the road of, in a few months' time, of building my own website and making sure I've got like somewhere where I can post them, you know what I mean, get it all set up properly 100%, but I'm in no rush to do it. It will drop one day, I think, but not at the moment. Says I'm not on Insta, but I'll get my mate to send it on my behalf. Yeah, Dino, that's much appreciated, mate. I was going to say, if I put my, what do you call it, if I put my email address on here, then I could get loads of people sending me, like I've had before, hate stuff. And not just that, by when someone's got your email address, they can, nowadays with these computers and everything, they know your name, they know your date of birth, they know your email address, they can get hold of your phone number, and before you know it, they can hack into your bank account. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I need to probably set up a few email addresses and just have one dedicated just for this, just for the YouTube as such. It's surprising, to be fair, that YouTube, how big of a platform that it is, that it doesn't, like Instagram where you've got private messaging, Facebook you've got private messaging, why YouTube hasn't got a platform where they have private messaging, because then, you know, if it's private, you can have a conversation with someone and you're safe to share certain details like phone numbers, email addresses, all of those type of things. I mean, if you're brave enough to put your email address online with your phone number and your name, your date of birth, you're pretty brave. You're a braver man than what I am. Because what you got to ask yourself, would you do it yourself as well? Because it's the not knowing who the person is, who you're giving it to. They could, you know, they could pretend to be someone that they're not. Most people are genuine, as I call it, but you never know, do you? And it's normally the haters that's got something on me that they don't like. I mean, I ain't going to go into too much spiel about that, but I've got a bunch of haters that don't like me, a little group that don't like me, and I'm not even mentioning any names, who they are. I know who they are, but soon as I mention them, if I was to mention the name now, all of you guys will go and search who that person is, and all that does is give them more advertisement, and that's the reason why they hate on you, because they're not, deep down, truthfully, they're not getting the publicity, or they're not getting to the place where they want to be. So what they do, they try to spoil someone else's, what's it called, success, or whatever that may be. They try jumping on that and making it bad for them. And I'm not about that, but I know exactly who it is, and to the levels that they go to. So even going to Southwest Koi, they rang him up and told him to have nothing to do with me whatsoever. I'm only in it for the money. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm talking about. And yeah, I just thought the levels that some of these people go to try to really like Dave was telling me, he's a grown bloke. He watches my videos. He's followed my channel. He's watched every single video that I've done. And he's, you know, he's like, I can make up my own decisions. I'm a grown man. I don't need you telling me what James is or who he is. I've met him myself personally, and I actually think that he's a nice bloke. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But it results down to you can't be everyone's cup of tea. There are probably a few people in here hating now. They just sit there and watch and they never say anything. Or anything good that you do, they never say anything. But as soon as you say that one thing bad, bosh, they're straight on you. Like a Jack Russell on heat. Do you know what I mean? Look at these fish, look, right next to me, look. They loves me. Can you see them? They loves the whisperer. They don't like him, they love him. They absolutely love him, they do. Oh, I've moved my camera around. Just why, like you said, James, free will. Phil Hayes, hey it. What up, James? Keep it going. No, you can't, man. Ball bags. Yeah, it's true. What's the koi looking like down the old camera anyway? Can you see them all right? Are they looking mint? Look at her, look. Looking beautiful. Eating machines. Absolute eating machines. To be fair, this time of year, take no notice of the haters. Yeah, that's the best way of doing it. I just think it's funny. The thing is, and I ain't even giving them the light of day. To be fair, I've probably already talked about it too much already. But it's just funny. And what they don't get, every time that they click on my video, every time that even if they click on my video and put that thumb down, YouTube recognises that, and it's classed as engagement to a channel. So, and a lot of them, right, a lot of the haters, they don't even watch my video, they just go straight to the comment section and write something in the comment section. So while they're doing that, the video's actually playing, and I'm getting more viewed time through my video. Why you got so much haters? Well, the main reason is probably down to, because I got asked the other week. I mean, this is just one of the reasons. So a lot of the subscribers and followers that I have, they message me on the comments, and I get on each video, like some videos I can have 300 to 400 to 500 comments on a video. So some of the comments say, James, love your content, love what you're doing, I would like to buy your fish some food, or have you ever thought about making an Amazon wish list, or whatever it may be. So many things, suggestions has come in by people that are very generous, very nice, and some people have got more than others, and some people like sharing that or paying something forward. So I got asked if I could make a wish list of some of the things that I would like, or some food, for instance, to feed my fish. I got asked, it wasn't my idea, I got asked to do it for the people that wanted to do it, and I didn't ask anyone to buy me anything. And I specifically said several times, I'm not asking for anything. The list is there for the people that's already offered, and it's not just like one random person that's offered. I had 15 or 20 people offer to do the same similar sort of thing, that they want to buy the fish some food. And just, you know, my respect to that by someone that does something like that for me is to say thank you. Most people would, like, if you got bought something from someone, and some people do it because they've enjoyed the content that I've made, they enjoy the content that I make, they get a little bit of a laugh or a joke from it, and some people feel, not everybody's, but some people feel that they have to, you know, return the favour by saying, James, I enjoyed watching your videos, or you helped me out. And some people I've had an hour conversation with on Instagram or whatever, and they say, how can I repay you? And I'm like, I don't want anything, mate. I've done it off my own back. And it's not just one person or random people or people that I've helped. Some people feel that they want to give something back for me helping them, but the haters don't see it that way. The haters see it that I'm begging, I'm asking for stuff, you know what I mean? And it's like, have a word with yourself. I've not asked for it, people's offered. But it's the same as when I built this pond, that I put out a GoFundMe page to help me build the pond. You know, people give me a lot of stick over that. And even when I put out, like Scott Saunders is one of my members at the moment. So when I said, as a perk for this channel, that I'll start producing live content and extra content for the people that want to support the channel, well, people give me a load of stick from that, saying that you think you're like Netflix, so you can start charging people for it. And it's like, mate, do you really even know what YouTube is about? That is what it's about. If I'm doing extra content, extra work, extra bits and pieces, and people want to join. I've not made people join. People want to join, or people want to help support, then that's down to them. Like, that's why the platform, I'm not the only one that's come up with the idea of joining a channel. There's probably 100 million people out there that make content that does that. But no, James the Koi Whisperer's not allowed to do that. Scrag's back. What it comes down to is people love your content and learn a lot from your channel. They've seen you have had a shit time and trying to get your life back on track, which hats off to you, mate. You've done it. Yeah, thank you very much, Scrag. I very, very much appreciate that, mate. Absolutely appreciate that. And it's like I've said before, I've not asked for it. If people want to do it, then happy days, you know what I mean? And I can only, for me, right, I only feel it's right. If someone gives me something, I say thank you for it. You know what I mean? It's how I've been brought up. But like I said, over the years, you never ever, I can never be everyone's cup of tea. You tell them, Sam, what's he Brit? Mozzie Mycosis. Yeah. People want to help you get back on track. Don't let the haters pull you down, mucker. Nah, cheers, Scrags. I appreciate that, mate. What it does, it doesn't pull me down. It just fucks me off more than anything. But the easiest way that I deal with that is just hit that block button now, and I don't entertain it. And to be honest with you, my wife knows what I get like with it. It does rattle me cage a little bit, and I suppose that's why these haters do it, because they know, like 95% or 98% of my subscribers are positive. I got decent, you know, followers, decent people like yourselves that follow me, give me decent feedback, you know, nice genuine comments and all the things that pick you up in life. But the percentages that send you hate mail, like I've had people send me messages saying, James, you don't have a clue what you're on about. I know where you live. I'm going to come round and kill all your fish. And you know what I mean? You think, really? Try it, mate. Try it. Oh, Sam Coffey knows what I'm like. He's an absolute animal, isn't he, boy? But yeah, I've gone past that stage as well in my life, to be fair. James, I've learned a hell of a lot from you and your videos. I was so impressed with your rebuild and designing. I based mine around yours. Cheers, Tom. I appreciate that, mate, because that was one of the reasons why I filmed it, was to help people that are not professional builders. They don't, you know, everyone's got different trades in life, but everything can be done. What do they call it about jack of all trades? Jack of all trades, but a master of none. But a master of one is better than a master of none. How does it go? I can't remember how it goes. But if you can have a go yourself and show people and build it. I mean, Sam Coffey, who's in the chat, he come round, he was in the videos. You guys must have seen him when he was on the hammerjacker, giving it some hammer, whacking up me slab when I was trying to get rid of the old pond. All of those things, really. Jack of all trades, master of none. But there, yeah, that's it. But then Scrags, that comment keeps going. Try it. Chitty chat. What's he said? Chitty chitty bang. Chitty chitty bang. But better than one. Yeah, that's it. Something like that, innit? I heard it once and I was like, yeah. But it's true. The reason why I built the pond and filmed it and showed people is because you don't have to pay for someone to do it, your pond as such. There's certain jobs that's hard. But there's some jobs that if you can have a go yourself and get stuck in, and if you have a go yourself and mess it up, and if it goes wrong, then fix it and start again. At least you've had a try at it, innit? But I got to admit, I enjoyed building this pond. Like each week, the progress from what it was to what I wanted to do, like from where it's at now, what you guys have seen, what you guys seen me build, where it is. Well, I saw that in my head on paperwork. I saw the finished product. Do you know what I mean? I saw the finished product while I was doing it. I knew what it was going to be like. I knew what I wanted it to be like. And each week, I didn't know how to achieve every task that I needed to come up against. Certain bits of problems when I come up against certain things, levels and bits and pieces like that. And I battled my brains over it some nights. I mean, Creative Combo, I don't know if you remember, but when I didn't know how to do my drainage pipage, and it's something that you do as a trade, and he very kindly spoke to me on the FaceTime. He gave me the idea of how I need to do it, and he was like, you can do it, just have a go, I'll run you through it, you can do it. And he very kindly gave me his time of day to help me out to do it. Do you know what I mean? And it was a job that I finished myself. Didn't have a clue, to have an idea, to have an understanding of how I needed to do it, to bosh, done it. The only problem when I build something, if I ever sell this property, I would not want to knock this down, because it's there for life. Do you know what I'm saying? He ain't coming down. Yeah, I might go in and have another cup of tea in a minute. 78 in the chat, smash that like. A jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes it's better than a master of one. Yeah, that's how it says. My wife says that to me, James. I wish I had my fishing kettle out here, to be honest with you. I'll just chill out with that. It's nice just chilling out here in the garden with you guys though. It's like you guys all sat in your front room and I'm sat in the pond talking a load of bunkum. It's nice, I like it. Size of that Shuro there though, put on some size, isn't it? Can you see that? I always do DIY stuff. Oh, Jack, is it? I can't say your name again, innit? But you sent me a super chat the other night, and I couldn't say your name. How do I break it down again? Jack, can I just call you Jack? I can't say it. Fucking dyslexic, ain't I? Yep. Cheers, Jack. Jack Amatos. Jack Amatos. Is that right? Jackamotus. Is that right? Jackamotus? I don't know. But yeah, Jackamotus. Ideal. But yeah, I remember you sent me some super chats the other night, didn't you? That was quite funny actually. Appreciate that, mate. Very much appreciated. Do you know, I've never really realised, but when I go live, do you know when you come into a video, do you get an advert to start with when you like come in and then go out? Or did you get an advert come up while I'm live or anything like that? Or is it just straight into a live? Because I don't know how it works when I do a live. I know when I put out content that you get an advert to start with, but that's the only reason how people like myself, content creators, get paid really. But I didn't know if you get an advert when you do a live or not, but I'm not doing it for that anyway. I pay for YouTube, so get no ads at all. I haven't really looked at that myself, how that works really. I was thinking about that the other week. Yes, adverts on live. Sean Morris is in the house. Happy days, mate. You sent me a gift, didn't you, mate? Very much appreciated that. See, I remember the people, see? I remember the people. Hi, James. Hope you're well. And the fam. Cheers, mate. Appreciate that. Dr. Kempo. Dr. Kempo, is it? No problem, mucker. Very much appreciated. Love your setup. I live in the US, in Florida. Happy days, we're in from Florida. Started to build my first pond. My first bond. I know what it means. Callum, hi James, how are you doing? I'm doing fantastic, thank you very much. I know I've been active lately on YouTube, but I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying having a chat with you guys, and it's doing me the world of good, to be honest with you. It's good to talk, do you know what I mean? It might be about absolutely anything, but after I finish a live, I go inside and yeah, chillax. Starting my first pond build. When's the growing pond starting? When's the next fishing stream? I'm hoping to get out, obviously this weekend I'm up southwest Corey and I, so the fishing will probably be the week after that, I expect. It was only so much last week because I had a week off holiday, and the wife, she works for me in the butcher's shop. So she works like part-time in the butcher's shop, but then she works part-time as a cleaning job, doing like log cabins and stuff. So she had to still work Monday and Friday. Well, on those days, because my son was home from school, well, it was kill two birds with one stone. So I sort of went fishing with Jacob on the Monday, and then I did the same on the Friday while she was at work. And then the rest of the week, we done other family stuff. 8 be free, be free. How many koi do you honestly think I should stock? Depending on your filtration, because that's the important side of it, what filtration you got, but you could quite easily get 8, I would have said. 7 to 8. But then when you're stocking, you want to be picking, to be honest with you, you're better to have 4 decent fish, or 4 fish that you like, than 12 fish at the like spending the same sort of money as such as 12 fish and just overstocking, because the more fish that you have, the more food that you have to buy, the more food that you have to put into the fish to get the development from the fish. You're better off to buy what I'm trying to say is a lower amount of fish but a higher grade of fish, because eventually, if you're new to the hobby or not new to the hobby, eventually what you'll do is that you'll want another fish. Like, so you're better off to not go crazy to start with, see how you get on. Don't, especially building a new pond with new filtration, I wouldn't put no more than 2 in to start with, just to get all your water balance right, see how the pond runs. And I wouldn't go too high end to start with. And then a lot of people say, well, won't say this, but if you've got a brand new pond and you're first getting into the koi hobby, the best thing to do, I recommend, and I know it sounds a little bit cruel, but build your pond, get it set up, and buy a few goldfish, chuck a few goldfish in there for a month, let the pond build up a decent bacteria, a decent level, and then move on your goldfish, like buy a few koi, and then move on your goldfish to someone else that's looking to start, or keep them and keep them in your pond. But if you get goldfish, obviously a lot cheaper. If something goes wrong in the first couple of months, then you're not going to be losing or getting expensive koi that you've just purchased jump out or die or any reasons, because anyone new to the hobby or getting into the hobby, to start with, to learn from the hobby, it can be quite stressful and difficult, and work out the reasons why your fish might be getting ill, and it's generally down to your water, but it might take you a few months to build up your beneficial bacteria in your filters. Once that's built up, then you're safe to go out and spend a decent amount of money on a fish and get something half decent quality. Paul Cole, only joined due to my 83-year-old mum being in hospital. Oh, sorry to hear about that, Paul, mate. I hope everything's alright. Thank you, makes sense. Yeah, because a lot of people get into the hobby, they build a pond, and as soon as the ponds fill up, so you've got no beneficial bacteria in your filters, they go out and buy 10 fish, chuck them, or like 10 koi or whatever, about so big, chuck them all in the pond because they want to fill it up. And then what happens, because you're putting so much ammonia, or so all of your nitrogen cycle, you haven't had time for it to happen properly, the water can't keep up with itself, the fish start getting sick and ill, and you don't really notice until there's a major problem, and by that time, it's too late, and you can't really do anything about it. So yes, as they say, slow and steady wins the race. I have 9 aquariums inside, so the pond is new, laugh out loud, but I think it's the same. Yeah, it is exactly the same, mate. Exactly the same, apart from this big, on a bigger scale. So if you know how to keep fish in tanks, and you know how to keep your media, and you know all your filtration inside of stuff, the only thing I would recommend is, if you're in Florida, I believe, there's a lot of people in Florida, they don't put a bottom drain in. They just put gravel and a pump in the pond. And I don't know why you've got a different sort of style of filtration over there, which it does work. But I highly recommend that if you can put a bottom drain in, that is the way forward. Because without a bottom drain, and I'm not saying that you definitely need one, but if you're building one from start, the advantage of having that bottom drain is, if you can imagine when you've got a pump in the pond and you're sucking up shit from the pump in the pond, which is not wrong to do this, it's just harder to clean. So that fish poo's a solid piece. Well, it goes through propellers into the pump. As soon as it hits those propellers, it chops up all of that shit, and then it fires all of that shit up into your filtration system, and then you get loads of small bits of sediment and bits of poo and loads of small fines floating around the pond all of the time, because most of your filter media, like jack matting or any of your filter media, like with a high surface area, all of those bits where you've just chewed up with your pump just basically spits over the top of it. The only way you take those fines out is with a bit of filter floss. But if you've got a bottom drain, or you've got a gravity fed system, the solid bits of poo basically run through the system to start with, and they will sit wherever your first mechanical stage of filtering is, as a solid piece. They won't get chewed up. So when you time to drain them out, it's just a lot easier, instead of chewing it all up into smaller bits. But not saying that you can't put a pump in the pond, because I did that for years. I had to spit then, I had a bit of something in the throat. Now looking at upgrading to a drum filter having to be pump fed due to being unable to put a bottom drain in when I build the pond. Still here, James, just washed baby's bottles. Yeah, so Snake Man, like I said, you can do that. It ain't gonna hurt. It will work, but all I was getting at is the advantage of a bottom drain, of that shit's not being chewed up as such. Oh, hello, there it goes again. Oh, you know, I need to lay off the baked beans tomorrow night. There's Branston baked beans as well, they're normally alright. Normally Heinz affects me, let alone Branston. Mrs. Whisper's in for a treat tonight. Get one under the covers and hold her head down. Have some of that, sweetheart. I wouldn't do that. She'd kick me out of bed. Don't even know what the time is. Yes, Scrag, mate. Dino. I will be 9:30. Yeah, it's interesting you guys watching me. Any questions that come in, I'm happy to answer them if I can. Or what it is, I give my opinion on them. I will look into how to build bottom drain 4:30 p.m. That's 4:30 p.m. in Florida, I imagine, is it? I don't think so. We'll be at Danny's opening day, mate. What's Danny's opening day? What's that about? Is that Danny who used to be with, is it the Bowden Reefer? Is that the Danny? I haven't seen any of his content for ages. I don't know if he's still about or not. He's opening the shop. No, Danny, my boy's koi. Oh, Danny, my boy's koi. I've heard of him. I've seen a couple of his videos, but I haven't seen any of his uploads for ages either. I don't know if it's because I've subscribed to a lot of people, but I don't get notifications off everyone. I must have to go back and check, but it's hard to keep track of everyone. There's so many people in the hobby now. But what's he done now then? Has he opened up a shop or something, has he? Danny Welsh has his own dealership now. Everyone's got into it, haven't they? Everyone's doing a koi dealership. I wonder if any of them got any stick by being a YouTuber and then open up a shop. If they got any stick for doing it. I say fair play to them. Paul Cole, you ever thought about travelling to Japan? That would be my next sort of dream, to be fair. Something that I would love to go and do. Maybe one day. I'd like to take Mrs. Whisperer as well. You know, to be fair, I'd like to take my whole family. But obviously, funds at the moment is it would be a long-term project if I ever did something like that. Down to my circumstances. But I'm only young, so I've got a long time to sort myself out and get myself in a position where I might be able to one day go and do that. I'm the main man in the koi world, James. Just ask about. He's the main man. Who are you then, mate? Because I don't think I've even seen you on my channel before, have I? I don't remember you as such. Seemed like you got a lot of banter like myself anyway. Seemed like a decent look. Tell you what, everyone's caught as a ball boy. Look at the size of this shuro though on the side of her, look. From when I first got her, the depth, I don't know if you can see. Come back round. Every time I tilt the camera, buggers off. But put some decent size. Right, anyway, I might hit the road because I've been on for 1 hour and 10, And I think it's about time I goes up and has a little conversation with the wife. Yeah, right, I'm going to call it a night then, guys, I think, because I have been out here for a while. It's been absolutely a pleasure to catching up with you guys again. Very much appreciate it. What about the £8 coin? Yeah, she owes me 2 of them for that bullseye I did the other night, innit? But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you guys. I really enjoy it. And I'll probably go live, you know, a couple of times this week, to be fair with you, if I can fit it in. If I can get it in, happy days. Thank your mother for the rabbits. And I'll see you all on Sunday. You might see me before, because I might go live Saturday night for a game of darts. 7 PM. If anyone wants to join me for a game of online darts, if you've got a dartboard, we can share the video screen, we can have a bit of banter, whatever it may be. But I'll catch you all on the next one. Very much appreciate you guys watching, listening to me. Listen to me yibbity yabbiter off about a load of, sometimes it might even be unnecessary information. But that said, I will see you all on the next one.